Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this cute and sexy off the shoulder mini dress. If you want to see how I made this dress, please keep watching. I'll be using two stretchy knit fabrics, a top and a skirt as my pattern pieces, and also tracing paper. You can use magazines or newspaper if you want. So as you can see, I folded my shirt in half and I placed it on the fold of the paper. So I'm just going to be folding the top part of the shirt for the off the shoulder piece. Now I'm going to be tracing it all around. Also make sure you use a shirt that's very fit on you. Since I'm working with stretchy knit fabric, I want it to be like a fit, so I will also be tapering the sides, as you'll see. Now I'm just going to get my marker to make it easier for you guys to see what shape it's going to come to. So the next part, I'm just going to add my skirt piece to it. So it's going to come to one long piece, one dress piece. So this is how I combine both of them. So I'm going to trace the same way I did for the top part, for the skirt part. Once again, make sure to use a skirt that's very fit on you. I'm using a stretchy skirt. So the same way for the top part, get a skirt that's very fit on you. When you're finished, just cut it out. So this is the piece that you should get, and I'll be using this for both my front and back. So here, I'm going to be working with the sleeve, how I'm going to get my sleeve piece. So basically, you're going to pin below the cap of the sleeve. So you're going to trace everything except the cap of the sleeve. So I'm just pinning where the top part of my off the shoulder meets, so that way it's going to be the same length of the sleeve. So just watch how I do it because it's kind of hard to explain. But I'm just going to trace everything except the cap of the sleeve, so the shoulder part of the sleeve. I'ma be real and say what's on my heart. Yeah. Let's take this chance and make this love feel relevant. So this is the shape of the sleeve that you should have. I'm going to proceed to cut it out. And you just need to cut two separate pieces. Now I'm going to cut out the front part of my dress. So I'm going to place it, fold it in half, and place it on the fold of my fabric. And just cut all around. Since this is stretchy knit fabric, leave at least half an inch of seam allowance. If you want it to be more room, you can make an inch of seam allowance, but I just did a half an inch. So I'm going to be cutting two separate pieces, front and back. The same goes for the sleeve piece. Place it on the fold and cut two separate pieces for your left and right arm. So now I'm going to show you how I plan to outline my dress. I'll be using another stretchy fabric, the same color but a different type of texture against the mesh. So I measure the bottom of my dress, and whatever length I get, I'm going to apply that to this new fabric, minus 2 inches since it is stretchy. So I think I got around 17 inches. I don't remember the number I got, but whatever inches you get, just apply it to the fabric, minus 2 inches, because you're going to use that to outline it on the bottom. And also I minus 2 inches from the length because it is stretchy, so you want it to be kind of snugged on the bottom, so that's why I minus 2 inches from the length that I got. But this is how I plan to add it on. I did the same thing for the sleeve piece. I got around 7 inches, so I'm going to minus 2, so it's going to end up being 5. And I'm going to measure that on my fabric and cut it out the same way. I also forgot to mention, when it comes to the width, you can decide how thick you want it to be. It's up to you. I decided to make it 4 inches wide, so when I fold it, it will end up being 2 inches. So as you can see, that's 2 inches because it's 4 inches originally, but this is how I plan to add it. And as you can see, this is how I stitched the sleeves. I finished adding the binding to the bottom of my dress, as you can see. So 4 inches wide, fold it in half, 2 inches wide. And now I'm going to show you how I plan to put it together. So basically, it would be wrong side to wrong side for you guys, but for the sake of this video, I'm just showing you how it looks on the right side. So you line it up, and then all you're going to be doing is stitching the side, both sides together. So when you flip it inside out, it will be all stitched together. So once again, side, side. And then once that's done, I'll show you how I insert the sleeve. So as you can see, one sleeve is already done. I already stitched everything together. So this is how I plan to insert the sleeve. So you fold your dress inside out. You keep your sleeve piece on the right side. And then I'm just going to insert it inside the dress. And make sure the underarm seam matches up with the sleeve seam. So I'm just going to show you how I do this. The lines have to match up. So I've already sewed it together, but as you can see, the underarm seam matches with the sleeve seam. So now I'm going to show you how I plan to add the neck or the shoulder binding to my dress. So just like the sleeve and the bottom of the dress, you're going to measure it out. So measure the whole shoulder off the shoulder part. And whatever length you get, apply that to that same fabric that you're going to use, minus 2 inches, because it is stretchy fabric and you do not need to have the exact length, but you need to minus 2 inches for the sake of it being snugged on your shoulder so it doesn't move around. So here's my binding for the shoulder part. So you're going to fold that in half and then fold it in half again to have this circle piece, because this is where you're going to insert it. So I've sewn it all together. And what I'm going to do to insert it or add it onto the top of my dress, I'm going to flip it upside down, as you can see. And I'm just going to sew all around. I'm going to serge all around. If you don't have a serger, you can also use a zigzag stitch from your sewing machine. So as you can see, everything is all sewn together. The neck piece is all attached. If you don't have a serger, you can also use a zigzag stitch from your sewing machine. Here are the sleeves or the cuffs, and here's the bottom of my dress. So that concludes my tutorial. Also, if you're worried about the thread color showing, I suggest that you use a color that's similar or close to the fabric that you're going to use. Yeah, don't mind me, I'll just act a fool here, you know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and always supporting. And don't forget to check out my Instagram page where I also post other DIYs.